Hello, people. My name is Celebs. The only boss. Oh, wait, what else? Have you heard? Wait, do you know that Tap Tap Send is live in Texas? Oh, you didn't know? We went to New York. Now we are live in Texas. So people in Texas and around, all you have to do is to download Tap Tap Send. Yes, Tap Tap Send has become the most unique, secure, and fast way of sending money across the world to your loved ones anywhere. Okay, so download Tap Tap Send on Google Play Store or App Store, and when you're in Texas or around, you just have to put in the code TXGH. What did I say? TXGH, and you get $10 for your first transaction you make. Mahama media, Texas, you drew very soon we'll conquer everywhere. Download Tap Tap Send now on Google Play and App Store. Tap Tap Send, it's secure, convenient, easy, and fast.
Capstone Global Consult Limited. Eye Jumekuo bi a omo fa registered nurses, drivers a omo GCC license, NFA securities. Edi omo ko amaya hodro bi so te se Dubai, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, NFA USA. Na mene wo kasa sisi akra. Omo per registered nurses. Edi omo ko USA. Akoye juma ko jisika pudro. Anne. Na enye we po. Capstone Global Consult Limited. Esanso boama. Sa wo peka atofri amanone. Omo be ye ho hyehyeye nyina ma. Na wo nsatimi aka. Ka biara e dawa kuma so wa bra wo mre ho enti omo se bra omo so ye sesi a wo be hu omo Otema community na omo ni Ashama Timber Market ene din hwe anim anase fra omo e wo 0599 183083 ana 0302 986573 amanone fo so fra omo +821 021811 Capstone Global Consult Limited. Your success is our business.
Check now, check it, check it, check it, check it. The beat is real, don't wait, make it kill ya. Get your green select glucometer and check it. Sugar level, check it, 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 check it. Green select glucometer, check it, check it, check it, check it. Sugar level, check it, check it, check it, check it. Check it, check it, check it, check it. Select glucometer. Everybody check now.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Our industry seems to be inundated by so many stories on Sarkodie and Yvonne, and I'm saying this based on the stories I've been reading online. Check all the platforms where news stories in Ghana are published, and I can tell you that this particular story has swallowed almost everything show business in Ghana. Maybe we would need to give them one more week to see if they are strong enough to still be ruling the headlines in Ghana. But as it stands now, it is so obvious that everywhere turned chaka chaka chaka, thanks to Yvonne Nelson and Sarkodie. But as content people, we know ball like that, because there are so many angles that we still have to explore, and I can tell you that we are on exploring these angles. So today, as usual, gentlemen are seated for us to go on with the exploration. Nana Reagan, Randy Chase Road Manager, is here. He's also a journalist and he is a publicist as well. Abbas Muiz, he just finished his Sanla festivities. So he came looking like an allergy for you guys to know that. Though he did not go to Mecca, but still, he is an allergy Abbas. For information, he is also the man in charge of marketing and business management for our queen. That is Queen Shatta Michi. And he is also into marketing, into events and more. Then at the extreme end, man like Kobe Josvan, aka the nation's blogger. is also seated for us to do our thing. Now, I want you guys to know that when we sit like this, we share nothing but opinions based on knowledge, exposure, and information. So if you also have something to share, you feel free to share it instead of just attacking the personalities in the studio. Of course, we might not care, but it doesn't make you also look like a gentleman or a lady. That's what I want you to know. Meanwhile, at the other side, Digital Rasta is on camera. You can call him Currency. Richie Flex is the editor director of the show. My name is Sammy Flex, and I know you out there, you are a partner to this channel. Thanks for spending quality time to watch us. God bless you all the time. Remember to subscribe to us if you've not done that, even as we go straight into the stories. Meanwhile, I want you to know that Tap Send is still here. Get your app on your phone if you want to be sending money from abroad to Ghana. Put in your promo details, and first you have to put in your bank details. Then after, you put in the promo code, which is Sammy Flex. As you send money, especially for first timers, you're going to get some more. Let me also take advantage to remind you that Sunday, Sammy Flex Collect will be hitting you hard, 7 p.m. Ghana time, and we'll be running all over the world. You can be a part of this show live. You come on air, and I'm telling you that this Sunday, on top of the agenda, will be Sarkodie's response to Yvonne Nelson, and we are sure going to talk. Before we go into the Sarkodie Yvonne Nelson, let me read a story of Christiana Awuni, a story I chanced on Ghana Web, and I want to get our opinions on it because as it stands now, elections are just around the corner once again. Very soon, we will be going to the polls, and as celebrities, they will also be called upon again to share someone or two with their followers. And based on what the lady is saying, I want to ask my people if there is anything to go by it, and again, how we can handle such matters. Richie, give me the story, and let me read it briefly before we move on. So, Christiana Awuni is saying that movie producers, directors forced them to endorse NPP in 2016. And this is critical because, as much as I know, we saw many of them endorsing the political party NPP. And as it stands now, we are still seeing some of them bashing the same political party they endorsed in 2016 for poor performance. In another story on Ghana Web, maybe if there is time, I'll still read it. Christiana Awuni is bashing the NPP government for doing so many things wrong. So people you praised, you turned, and now you are attacking them. We asked you why. Then she has given us this revelation that they did not praise them out of their own volition, but really and truly, it was because some producers forced them to do that, and there was even a caution to it that if you don't endorse them, we are not going to feature you. Should that be the way? Ghanaian movie star Christiana Awuni has revealed how she was forcefully coerced into endorsing the new patriotic party NPP in the 2016 elections. Speaking in a video seen by mynewsjake.com's Aman Sankrachi, the actress said producers and directors want to sideline her if she doesn't comply. In 2016, some people coerced us forcefully to endorse NPP unwillingly, which were our producers and movie directors, she disclosed. She revealed, they cautioned us that woe betide anyone who will join NDC or endorse their candidates. They won't work with you. So we had to comply and follow their instructions because that's the only job we do to feed ourselves. And apart from acting, we don't have another job doing if they don't cast us in their movies anymore. Asked whether the decision has influenced positive results and also about the whereabouts of the said producer, she said, we had to force ourselves to do it by all means, but now we don't know the whereabouts of these producers, and now we don't care whatever they decide to do next. Even if the movie directors and producers want, they can now go bend the sea. It doesn't bother us any longer because we are now, which I can't read the final text because we are now, you can push it up a little bit. Because we are now on our own going forward, she said. This is Christiana Awuni talking. She is a very big name in the movie industry, especially in the local setting, Akan movie producers. And I'm asking, we are about to enter into another election. Was this fair to them? And who would you blame for this? Would you say they were weak to have agreed to do this, even out of their own will? Abbas, let me start this with you. You have been working with talent. Should this approach your talent? How would you handle this?
Barkada Salah. Mubarak to everybody.
Barikade.
It is bad. It was bad to a point where a producer, a director will say, based on a particular decision you make, will decide before I'll give you a job. That means, first of all, their livelihood has been threatened, and nobody wants to jeopardize where they eat from.
They feed from, yeah.
And I think then they were powerful, they were influential, and they controlled the feeding source of a lot of people. Now, the unfortunate thing is that majority of them don't wield such power anymore. They don't feed a lot of them. The molding platform have made it easier and faster for everybody to be able to feed. So each one of them can actually be on TikTok, even be on YouTube, be doing their own thing, and they don't really care about the producers or whoever.
Is that why she said now we are on our own?
Yes. Now she's doing things that she's making money with. You know, she has her own skits that she's doing currently. And if feed her better, she can sit in the comfort of her home, create a couple of things, and people will watch, and she'll make some money. And that is a lot of things for her. She can post it on social media, and people who really like her will donate something or will support her with something. And the more they watch, the more a number increase. The more people follow on social media, the more brands are also accepting them. As a talent manager, I assume that during that time, individually, they really do not have managers. She may not have manager then. She may not even be in control of a thing.
Okay.
A thought during those periods is from one location to the other.
Okay.
With this director, that director. That's why the director could actually gang up and say, okay, you're from meeting. Mumbre, one yes, yes, we are yes. Or directors can decide that today they are putting somebody out. But now, 2 or 3 directors can actually not do that. Because the actors now have also consciously decided that they won't work with the directors, they won't work with the producers. Now the actors themselves are producing themselves. The actors themselves don't even need a director, need a producer, need a light man or anything. They just need their phone with some light or without light, be in the open space, create something, and they will get the numbers. So then they were starving. The producers have power. And this is also a clear example of you need somebody to handle you. If then they were having people who were managing things for them, and their limit is not just only the Ghanaian market. You know, something like this, you can't actually, from long ago, you can't actually say to somebody like Jackie. You can't say to somebody like Nadia Buhari. You can't say to somebody like Ajete Nana, and so forth. Because they have the Nigerian market there. They have other markets there that they can actually ignore you, the Ghanaian producer, and goes to. Imagine some years ago, you even say this to Yvonne Nelson. She can actually tell you that and move to other places and go and do a thing. Even she, Yvonne Nelson, from her book, saying that a whole president of a whole country call her, telling her that every power is going to be with her finance. They are not saying she should vote for somebody. They are not saying she should campaign for somebody. They are saying she should stand. She should stand. And they will ask all these people now, even now, these people that they are complaining that producers influence them for somebody. If the president called them, not the president, 1 or 2 MPs call them that they should go and stand in their constituency, they will gather money and give they will even pick the slot of the party fast, even before they will conclude. Because after all, they will be popular through it, they will make some money. And if they win, they will go to parliament. Which they won't even think through. What are they coming to do? What are the implications? How are the process done and everything? And they won't even think about maybe like the way she said she's thinking about John Dumelo and the impact on their relationship. They may not even think of that and just go straight to it. So their situation, firstly, show clearly the influence of the producers and directors then. So we need to all of us be asking ourselves now. You may be powerful yesterday, but today you may not. So you may be powerful today, but be conscious of tomorrow. How would the tomorrow turn? Then again, you may be you may be in need of someone else to be able to make your life also very comfortable.
Okay.
If all these actors, they actually don't deal directly with the producers and the directors like Yeton, Mokoni, Intos. You get it? They have people who actually manage their affairs. In this country, we don't have talent management. Abroad, 3 or 4 actors are under management. When you even bring script, you don't bring it to the talent. It goes to the management. They say, okay, we have accepted this, we have accepted that. And it also shows the level of sharing. Some of these actors also feel like, oh, what I'm getting is 500, is 5,000, is 5 million, is 500 million. So why should I share it with somebody? And some of them are still thinking like that now. So they don't make progress. They don't have people thinking about them apart from them. So nobody will stand in for them. Imagine the producers are threatening them, the directors are telling them. Then they also have a lot of managers. Each one of them have managers, or 3 or 4 of them have managers. Those people also will be powerful and strong. And Charlie, you can't take our people for granted. We are many. It's not just about turn and vote. Which we have votes, which we will campaign against you guys, which will tell the public not to buy your this thing, which will do this, which will do that. I'm sure that will not happen. But so far as that happens, so moving forward, what have they used their influence for now? And how have they learned from that moving forward? If next election they swing to the other party, or if now they are insulting this party because of the other party, they have actually not solved their problem. But if they are insulting this party because the party have not provided a solution and they are seeking the solution they thought it would come out of, yes, then they've actually achieved their aim. If not so, I would just say they are just going around the circle and still just being who they are.
I see. Come through. What do you also say about this?
Brother Sammy, first of all, let me greet our cherished viewers and also wish Zidon happy belated birthday. Tuesday was his birthday, and I just want to use this platform to say happy birthday to him. And God bless him.
Zidon,
yeah. Okay. He's out with a new banger. Okay. 1 man 1,000, so we should go out there.
Yeah, 1 man 1,000.
Yes, he's doing amazing.
Okay.
My brother Sammy, it's very sad, especially when people want to determine or force people to make certain decisions per which they themselves are not willing to do. Okay. First of all, let me take us to our constitution, of which it says everybody is entitled to join any association, and so therefore you can never push someone to more or less join your association. Why? Because you think you have your own personal interest. And those things were then happening. Why? Because I think by then we're having a monopolistic market. It was a group of people, manipulating the system. So
who are controlling the system.
Yes. So one way or the other, even if you don't go by their decision, they can one way or the other sabotage you. But right now, we have so many avenues by which these people can more or less venture and even tackle their talent-wise. Now, the essence of social media and even YouTube, most of these actors and actresses are using this medium to more or less showcase some of the things that they need to do, and they are even cashing out more than previously.
The producers were paying them.
Yes. So someone like Awuni can say they can be on their own. Why? Because they found a new tool, an avenue per which they can more or less air their grievances and also put some of the amazing content out there. But on the other hand too, we shouldn't let it seem other way too, because let's consider the field of Kumawood. You see, Kumawood is a Kumasi-based thing, and we all know that not to play political, role here or maybe political talk, but we know Kumasi more or less dominates when it comes to the MPP. And as a matter of fact, if that is the angle, possibly most of these producers will come from that angle. And there was an era that one party was in power, and that was MPP. So one way or the other too, maybe they might also need some office per which they need these politicians on board.
The producers needed some office.
Yes, of which, because they are entertainers, by all means they will go there with their bid trying to negotiate things with them. This is one of 2 things that we want to do. And these politicians as well, they have to be a mutual benefit, a win-win affair. So they will also suggest that, oh, you have the numbers, you have the figures. So if possibly you want us to do this for you, then why don't you, speak to your people, make us endorse us. So as we can also help you achieve whatever it is. But whatever being the case, it is up to you, the individual. Just as Awini is saying, they can still force on you, but you still have the means to determine or make the decision per which you think will benefit you. But I don't see anything otherwise, because a idea assisa from the other angle to the experience it, and it is something that has been continuous. But we should also support that agenda, that before you do something or someone have to benefit from his or her own sweat, he has to more or less made a decision in favor of someone before he can also get something out of it. So be yourself, and let us all respect people's decisions also and mindset, especially when it comes to association. We shouldn't force people to join association per which they don't want to be.
Solid. Yes, Nana, a wrap up for me. What do you also think about the actions of these producers and what Christian Awuni is telling us?
Samuel, I also greet our cherished viewers.
Okay.
I think we should be very, very careful when people make some of these comments and leave a lot of windows in whatever box they are making the comments into. We should be very, very careful. You cannot say producers at that time did that to force you to do that, and you couldn't even mention a single producer in your revelation or whatever story you are trying to put out there. People do some of these things to do their own political things. Yes.
Political gimmicks.
Yes. People sometimes people even need favors and they go like this. They can come out and say these people did this, and at this point I don't even have the freedom to do that, and then they will say all sort of things. If somebody is putting out some of these things, I think we should force or push Christian Awuni to mention which producers in Kumasi did that meeting. What time? Where did that meeting went on? Where was it held in Kumasi? She should be able to tell us before we can make some of these pronouncements or believe some of these things. I mean, in Kumasi, in the same 2016, there's a certain Michael Michael Afani in Kumasi.
Yeah.
At that same time, Tracy Boachi was campaigning for the NDC. Wasn't she an actress? Wasn't Michael also an actor? What are you talking about? There are a couple of people who publicly declared their positions for the NDC in Kumasi in 2016. So what is she saying? If you are saying something and you want us to go by it, I mean, some of these do
you think mentioning a producer's name is the way out? She's telling you what happened. She doesn't want to do what we call witch hunting. She's telling you, okay, this happened, and her interest might not be on witch hunting, like mention. Okay,
no, it is not. It is not witch
that person.
It is not witch
no,
hunting.
if she mentions names.
No, if he mentions name, it is not witch hunting. It is finding solutions to that thing, because we will all agree that forcing somebody to endorse a political party and saying that if you don't do it, I'm going to take your food out of your mouth, is something bad.
Yeah, for sure.
So if we all agree that and we know it is a problem, then we need to find a solution to that problem. It is never witch hunting or anything. So if you think a group of producers did that meeting and said, if you these characters or actors and actresses, if you don't endorse MPP, we will do this, and you've been bold to say that now you don't even care, the producers can bend the sea and do, then you should be able to mention names. You should be able to tell us where that meeting was held. When was it held? Who and who, apart from you, Christian Awuni, mention the actors and the actresses who were involved.
Because you don't care now.
What are you what is she talking about? People go for interviews and they make some of these things, I don't know, for trend sakes and other things, and then we are just tolerating it. Like, we shouldn't make room for some of these things to be happening, because like I'm saying, people also play politics. Christian Awuni can equally be playing politics with this.
Yeah.
She can equally be playing politics with this. So the thing is that if you want us to believe that, okay, a certain producers in Kumasi did that to you and it is bad, we don't want it to happen in 2024. We don't want any group of people or some controllers of whatever field or industry to say that if you people don't do this or endorse Mahama or the MPP party, we are not going to allow you to have food or to work. Then we will find solutions to that before 2024. We will know how to name and shame people. If you mention the names of the producers, you are only naming and shaming, and it is right. It is one of the solutions that can stop some of these things, or stop people from forcing people or coercing people to do things that they really don't want to do. So Christian Awuni should. I'm also disappointed in whoever interviewed him. I think sometimes we should go beyond people just making allegations.
Okay.
Because there's no finding, there's nothing in the story. He's just saying some producers force us to do, and if for nothing.
Is it because you think it can't happen, or you are disappointed she did not put out all the facts?
It can happen, but if it happens and you are making such pronouncements, then mention names.
Okay.
It is possible.
It can happen. Okay.
It is possible. I mean, people can do things for their own interest and all of that. So if you think that you are against it and you've come out of it, and now that you think nothing they will do will affect you, then you should be able to mention names. Then we will know how to fight. Because if today Christian Awuni thinks that nothing the producers will do will affect it, there are people still in Kumawood. There are people still that still have some businesses with some of these producers. So are you saying because you have a life now and can do whatever you want, you are okay? So the rest should do what they should. What they should die. They should take their food from their mouth. Or what?
So in another angle, she has also been quoted for saying Akufo-Addo has been a total failure and a big disappointment. That is Christian Awuni also talking. So yes, I think I agree with some portions of Nana Reagan's submission where he said the lady should have been bold to mention the names. But on the other hand, I also ask him, it is past and it's gone. Now they are strong enough to face whatever comes their way. So what would the name calling add to?
There's even one more thing. Me, I am not against anybody that will endorse a political party today and tomorrow change your mind. In fact, that is how it should be. When people are putting out policies or manifestos and telling you stories and they don't deliver, change your mind. That is how we have to live in this country.
Okay.
So if you come out to say that you endorse Akufo-Addo and that today you are disappointed, there shouldn't be any beef. If you think that whatever Mahama is doing now, if he comes back as president of the country, he can solve the problem for you, vote for him. There's nothing wrong with you changing your mind.
Well, I think it is what it is. So this year we are telling all celebrities, movie directors, movie producers that forget about whoever tells you to do what. You have a mind on your own. Like Kobe Josman said, be you. Don't let anybody pressure you into any corner to take decisions that you personally you are not prepared to take. That is what I will say to finally end on that. But we move on to another story, same from Ghana Web, and once again it is about what the world is talking about. Interestingly, whilst we were thinking about Ghana alone solving our problems out of Yvonne Nelson and Sarkodie, we woke up and the video also started his own trends from the other side of the world, Nigeria, where some 2 baby mamas have also come up saying the video has impregnated them. It's another story for another day. But earlier, I shared my opinion on it. Though you can check that video yourself later. Prince David Osei has waded into the issues between Sarkodie and Yvonne Nelson, and he has been throwing some salvos. It is not once. I think I've seen 2 different tweets from David Osei where he was throwing salvos at Sarkodie over his decisions and the fact that Sarkodie has even responded to Yvonne Nelson after the memoir I Am Not Yvonne Nelson came out. In some tweets, Richie can show me the tweet instead whilst I read them straight, and my people will make their commentaries on that. We move on. So this is a long one. He says, "Dear Ghana, I wanted to share something that has been weighing on my mind lately. As some of you may know, our country can be a funny place and sometimes it can be hard to understand the rules that govern our society." Pay attention. He says, "Recently, There has been a lot of attention focused on the issue of I Am Not Yvonne Nelson book, abortion, and it has highlighted some of the hypocrisy that exists in our country. For example, a popular song that glorifies a man getting a woman pregnant and then convincing her to have an abortion has been widely celebrated, while a woman sharing her own traumatic experience with abortion has been met with criticism and backlash. This sort of double standard is concerning, and I can't help but feel a sense of sorrow for our country and the struggles we face. I hope we can work together to create a more compassionate and understanding society. This is Prince David Osei firing salvos on people who have been judging the case. Now another one comes and he says, someone who expressed his life experience through music on how he got a lady pregnant and made her aborted the baby without costing him nothing, got a standing ovation. Well, now that the latter decided to share her story through writing a memoir, people are going absolutely bananas. Pathetic human beings. And remember, there has been some songs trending. I'm sure you might have heard some of them where Sarkodie in the song had rapped that, yeah, of Onyem Gabe in again, as in he impregnated a lady, the lady went to abort it and he didn't pay anything. And people are reminding Sarkodie about some of these. And some people are even making direct allegations that, oh, then it was this particular instance Yvonne Nelson published in her book he was talking about in that song. Then it comes again when Amir Debra posted a story from Captain Smart where he said, any man who dares a woman is a coward. Captain Smart weighs in on Yvonne Nelson Sarkodie brouhaha. Then when my man saw, as in Prince David Osei, saw the link, came back and says, childish tantrums. Never let the kid in you destroy the king in you. And I love that particular phrase though. It said, never let the kid in you destroy the king in you. Whoever sleeps with a woman, gets her pregnant and don't own up as a man and goes about labeling her whore is the dumbest asshole ever. She was a whore, yet you shagged her unprotected, got her pregnant. God have mercy on those supporting tomfoolery. So this was after Sarkodie released his response in the song Try Me, and Captain Smart firing, and Prince David Osei also firing. Another one says, she never said he forced her to abort, bro. Read the book. He said he was staying with his mom and wasn't ready, which is very understandable as a young man. She never insulted him in the book or gave sully remarks about him. She only expressed the trauma she experienced during the process of the abortion. And still, even Prince David Osei is firing. In another one, he says, it's about respecting and valuing the women we have been intimate with in the past. It is never okay to use derogatory terms or make someone feel embarrassed for something as natural as intimacy. Real men treat women with kindness, empathy, and respect, regardless of the circumstances. Let's all strive to create a world where every person is valued and treated with dignity. Take care. Good morning. And this has been coming from Prince David Osei, firing more salvos on Sarkodie, especially after Sarkodie's response, which he thinks was uncalled for, was unnecessary, was not important, and more adjectives you can put in there. Let me get the views of Kobe Josvan on these matters. Kobe.
Right, Sammy. I said we did something which is there.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us all analyze issues by issues, and we'll get to understand the whole, story or perception behind this whole incident.
Okay.
It is quite unfortunate when especially issues happen between a man and a woman, and the world made it seem as if the women are always clean, or whatever that a woman will say seems right. But whatever that comes from a man is not worth to be taken or maybe understood. Okay. That is the problem that personally have with. And I think the world has not been fair to we the men, especially when it comes to legal issues, marital issues, and other issues that pops up like this. Okay. First of all, I will say one way or the other, both two parties, they've wrong. And there's one thing that I
As
always
in Yvonne and Sarkodie.
Yes, yes. And two wrong can never be right.
Good.
Because following some conversations that is happening or going around, you can clearly tell that I more or less believe that Yvonne did whatever that she's doing because of some kind of pains that she went through. And if you listen to some of Sarkodie's song released back, yes, you can more or less tell that Sarkodie was trying to narrate a story of an incident that happened between him and another body, another person, of which Yvonne herself will know, say, this line coming from Sarkodie is being directed to me. So I'm more or less convinced that was as a result, or that was a reason why she also did what we're also talking about. But one way or the other, so Sarkodie, I don't like it, especially some of the words that he used in the song. I believe, say, Anka incident by the beginning, he was quiet about the whole thing. His silence would have been better as compared to him even releasing a banger. And now some of the words are making Yvonne feel, of course, people would think that she's whore and other things. But you being a responsible person, having an affair with such a person, and coming back make that same person feel as if she wasn't worth enough for you to have that encounter with. One way or the other too, it's like you're also insulting yourself as a brand. Both brands are solid, and I don't support whatever is going on. But whatever being it, Obia will not drink. And Obia, everybody will more or less establish something that will make him look, stand well in the presence of our audience. But yeah, in trust or come like they should forget about the whole thing, smoke the peace pipe and let it go. Because irrespective of how we will drag it, everybody will still get a story to tell. Yeah. Everybody will get something to say to make him or her feel more or less comfortable, of which it won't end. So let us all forget about it and focus on the big picture. The harm has already been caused. And so at the moment, let's forget and move on. And that will be the best thing.
Well, thank you. Nana, continue from there. Kobe Just Van's opinion. Let's get yours as well.
I think we as people should learn certain things in life. I have said on this platform that when it comes to actions and reactions, anybody that jumps to criticize reaction is not a reasonable person, if I can say that. When it comes to actions and reaction, because yes, if you jump to judge reaction
without first paying attention
to the action, you are not bringing us any solution. What you are doing is just fueling the noise that is going on. It won't bring us any solution, because if there's an action that is causing damage to something and we want to solve it, we first of all we have to look at the action first and see where it started from, how it came about, how can we prevent or minimize or stop some of these things from happening. Because where there is action, there are reactions. Where there are no actions, there are no reactions. When Yvonne Nelson launched this book, we sat on this same platform, we were reviewing the book. In fact, some of our viewers came with counter arguments and said that in fact we can't even tell Yvonne how she should tell her own story. Because we were of the view that certain things that Yvonne did in the book was also not right.
Okay.
She could have, out of emotional intelligence, prevent some of these things, some of these happenings that we are seeing today. Yvonne could have stopped it from the book, the publication of the book. But she didn't.
And the book would have been empty.
Why do you always say the book could have been empty? So
what I mean is that if she was going to take away these things you guys are talking about, then there wasn't going to be any book at all. Because
there can still be a book.
About what?
Like what I'm saying is that about her, about I am not Yvonne Nelson. It is not everything.
You wouldn't have read that book.
It is not everything in Yvonne's life that is damaging. That Yvonne highlighted it in her book. We all agree to that.
But she decides what.
So exactly, I like this argument. You decide what you want, and that decision that you are making is your actions, and every action has repercussions. Let's understand and admit this reality.
Mm-hmm.
That decision now we're taking out for, let's say, I'm taking that decision. No, I'm taking it because I consider A, B, C, D, and affecting me crying, Jerry, and family when you're there. Somebody's reaction to that decision is also not your business.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't measure it, if you can't measure my decision and the actions that I'm putting out, and you say, okay, it is my decision, so if I don't do this, then I can't do that, and so it is okay for me to do that. Because indirectly we are telling Yvonne it is okay to put everything she puts in the book out.
Yeah.
That's what we are saying.
Mm-hmm.
And that thing, somebody also sees insult in it. Today, I've had series of conversations and people were just saying Sarkodie insulted. Yvonne did not insult. You don't determine what is insult to anybody. Labeling somebody as irresponsible can be insult to him. If not to him personally, it can be insult to his child. It can be insult to anybody that loves the person.
Around him.
So you don't determine. It is not the abua, foolish, idiot, or kwasia and atem didi. Let's stop this pretense. Sometimes your actions alone can be insulting. Sometimes even in our submissions here, you might not have any intention of offending or insulting anybody. You will speak and you will not use any words, but people still see insult in whatever you are saying.
Yeah, I know.
So what I'm saying is that Yvonne has written her book. You think it is okay. Sarkodie has come. He was mentioned in the book.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, some of us, even Chemo was here the other day, he even argued that mentioning Sarkodie was a business strategy.
Oh yeah, that one many people know.
So if you think mentioning Sarkodie,
it was not only a business strategy, it was the fact that okay, the guy featured in the book and a mention of him would amplify the book a little bit.
Not a little bit.
Because if he did not feature in the book, she couldn't have just mentioned his name. It is because
yes, we are saying
featured in the book.
We are saying that everything that she featured in the book is a story. We understand that, but we also agree and admit that it is not everything about Yvonne Nelson that is in that book.
Of course.
So she considers some things. She has reasons for picking some things and publishing it as a book. Now that is her action. We are dealing with that. And we are saying that some of the things that she put out was not cool, was not good. Because it is not good because we want to tell Yvonne how to write or how to think. It is not good because of some of the happenings today. What is going on? We were trying to avoid Sarkodie coming out to insult Yvonne Nelson. Tomorrow, if Yvonne Nelson's mother also comes out and feels so much pain and reacts in any way which will damage Yvonne Nelson or will even damage herself, we were trying to prevent that. Sometimes when people are doing things and we are saying, no, she should have done it this way, it doesn't mean we have sense than the person. In Penifossi, the old trust are in the So sometimes we are just telling you to do it in a certain way to avoid certain repercussions. You think that it was okay until someone I hear canning in our crap on the cry, it doesn't even make sense. Now, somebody that you mentioned and feels that you are making a whole lot of damages to his name, family name. You mentioned his family name. You did not mention Sarkodie. I could have said you mentioned you are making the damage to his brand. But now you have mentioned his brand and mentioned his family name as well. So maybe Sarkodie's reaction might not even be born out of, okay, I am a musician and I have something to do with you, but out of happenings in his home, out of conversations that is going on in his family. That is what will motivate him to, or will even anger him to say, no, I need to do something about this. And you that have hit somebody, going to hit somebody, you sitting outside somebody, you are trying to tell the person how the person should calculate his blow or calculate whatever jabs he also wants to give to the person. No, the time that we could have prevented Sarkodie from insulting Yvonne Nelson is past and gone. That was the time we were saying that, oh, some of these things were needless. You could have done it this way. You could have even talked about your pregnancy and do A, B, C, D without doing this. You said no. You want it like this. So if you want it like this, these are the repercussions that you get in return. So face it. It's just like you doing something and running away
your responsibility.
Your responsibilities. So you have taken an action. You have taken the Yvonne Nelson knows that some of these things will go as insult to Sarkodie, and Sarkodie will not be happy about everything. That in fact that was even one of the reasons why I'm sure she wanted to meet Sarkodie before the launch of the book.
Yeah.
So what we are saying is that as for David, the things he's saying, you see, he has turned the story in the book. Richie, I beg, put the post there for me. Let me just address
That he's turned what?
Look at the narrative he is trying to put out. For example, a popular song that glorifies you see some of these hypocrites. You see the hypocrisy. Which of the two events happened first? Now you have turned it just to convince people to agree or agree with whatever opinions or views you are putting out. You have turned the whole story. This is not the story. It was a book, and we were criticizing it. You people said you are okay. She is brave. That was what the people were saying. He said she is brave for being able to come out to say some of these things, and now the repercussions of her own actions are coming, and you want to say what? People are hypocrites for what?
For not supporting a woman's desire to kill her pains.
You see, sometimes let us not play some of these games, gender games, and make it look like a bantina here can say, and our mantina here can say. That is not the argument here. A two obi any obi na nyanketa wodi. Omo nyanketa ni eni na yeni ho. Ena baako e decide say whatever nketa wodi omo nyae no ono de to public no obi endi ho nkomo. Non sam nyese kan fi. And or the ato. And then the one side also thinks that okay, this time around I want to respond and also make money out of it. Then if you are telling that story, then you need to, and you want to share an opinion to it, or if you don't even agree with what Sarkodie's action, you don't turn the stories like this, because the way the post he made will also give somebody a different understanding into the Yvonne Nelson and Sarkodie story, which is very, very bad. So Prince David should sit down if he has any defense to make to Sark or for Yvonne Nelson or whatever. He should come up with reasonable points. What he is saying, it doesn't even make sense.
Well, Abbas, take over. Let me get your opinion on this as well.
May Almighty Allah forgive me if I've done any judgments, any wrong comments, or say anything, or whatever I'm going to say. If it will fall short, the glory of God, God should have mercy on me. For I did not intend to judge or try to blaspheme anybody or backbite anybody, but try to seek clarity. That is always my purpose. And also try to educate and inform the public of my understanding of the situation. I also want to issue a disclaimer. I wish personally that we actually don't discuss people like this. We actually discuss issues that will actually develop young talent, will promote us, market us, market other people, market our country, and we can develop as a nation and also individually so that we will progress. But it has become necessary that these people are public people and our youth.
Influential people.
These people are influential. Our youth
are learning a lot from them.
The internet now, don't forget. So I can't stay aloof and watch two adults put their dirty linen in public, and I will sit on the fence and keep quiet and do as if I don't care. If it doesn't come to me now, which I have younger ones, brothers and sisters who are reading, who are viewing, who are listening to comments by other people, then I sit aloof. I also have a child that in the next few years can actually search this information, these things, and get it and consume it. If mine, which I think may be positive, doesn't come in and it shape the mind of the person, then there will be a problem. So based on these things, that is why I will go ahead and say, okay, let's discuss it, because they are influential people. Now, there's one of the things God always say. He said the sins that we commit against him, that is God. He will forgive us. And God is happy with people who, when they do things in darkness, in hiding, they let it remain in hiding. Because there's no sin that is too small, and there's no sin that is too big.
Yeah.
If the moment you assume that, then you have assumed yourself God and the judge of your life. And that means you can do whatever you wish to do. Now, the same God also said that it will be better for you to forgive than to reply or to do the person, because you cannot measure the weight of what you will do back to the person. So now, Nana punch me, then I'll say I'll punch back. Maybe the weight in which he used to punch me is not the same weight I used to punch him. Now, if I understand Bible very well and understand Christ, there is a part where Christ said, if somebody even slap your right or your left, give the right to the person and let the person slap you. And these are clear things that are from there. Because I believe Ghanaians or Africans, we are very religious and very practical Muslims, Christians, and traditionalists. So we believe and we hold in high esteem what the Quran, the Bible, and our tradition says. And in our own space as traditionalists or as Africans or as Ghanaians, our tradition uphold that in conformity nu ya de wo kokoemu a omumani ka kokoemu na wo ankasa ofa ontumagu na osi wa abontia eye nimguase ma wo ankasa ho, especially when it comes to a woman. Obema ni enim say odi oba oko abadwem oko kasa. But see, our world is turning and it's very hurting. Say odi oba akra oba no na odi threaten wo kra say wanyesi. Yeah. And mrebia anka obema akra na opa oba atwo say yin senu. But see, I guess no kra posting on tu no komu kra chen condom. And it is deadly. These are my concern. Because a girl can now read and look at Yvonne Nelson, if based on this reason that Yvonne Nelson have or has aborted a baby, then I can also do same. And see, how many people will be left? Because I know some girls, before they even get married, they've gone through 10 abortions. Girls nowadays, they line up with the boys. So now I say it's not boys who are fucking girls, it's girls who are fucking boys. Yeah, they fuck somebody because of money. Fuck somebody because of credit. Fuck somebody because of phone. Fuck somebody because of trip
status.
And fuck somebody because of status.
Yeah.
And you could have somebody they fuck you because of the size of your penis. It's a wound now dini here. It's a wound or be proper. We in a mask. We in a mask.
Oh, I don't know free pass.
Because we are on the wound chief feelings. It's a love in you. Love in you. And no by be a new see I wear see on pesca. My brother won't enter your pescatu. Ubaya, the first thing she wants is money. Or this kind of you're crying. Yeah. But she works. So assume she's an old lady, she likes money. What about these young girls? That is my problem. In this book, in this analysis, in this talk that is going on, what are the young ladies feeding on? And how are they processing it? To come to we the male, I as a man, that any female threatens me, I can't stand and I can't keep calm for that lady to disgrace me and threaten my family. The moment you mention my brand name, they are my name. A lot of people in the industry really know Abbas, but Abbas actually is not my name. But the moment you mention the full name and you mention the family name, that means you really know me, and me and you have gone some trip. So that means now the attack is not just only on me personally, which I may wish off. But the moment you touch the family, it is not only me that will also respond. You should know that there are pressures that will come from another angle. And that is when a lot of us, per our permutation of who we know to be Sarkodie, not Michael, to be Sarkodie, responding later at the very time that he will cash out. And we were all hoping that he will cash out for the event. Because he can actually drop a music in September or November towards the December event and make money off the music and also make money off the event. But thank God, still, you should also bear in mind, Sarkodie is also actually making money also of this for the music and also for the event. Because the Europe tour is now selling. And it's a good time to also sell it. So I think he also calculated it very well and cash out. But notwithstanding, he also cash out with the side of replying. As a young man that I am, I won't want to have any problem with a woman and insult her as a woman because one, I have a mother. 2, I have a sister. 3, I have a wife. 4, I'm a father of a girl, so I have a daughter. And I won't wish any of these people be insulted in certain manner or be reacted to in certain manner because personally it will hurt me. And that is why I'm worried about this. Because I won't also want any of them to write a book about anybody that has slept with them. Not alone for me to know. Imagine somebody come to my mother, go and write all the men she has slept with. How will I be happy with? She said, "Me, mommy, waiting kofu we ni na." Imagine my sister the same. Say na me with my sister. Yet in a family meeting, you know that kind of thing. Then my daughter. Hey, and I'm here and I was also a book writer. No, I church from Memanaka. Say divorce na abanu. Because I can't imagine being with you and imagine some Farouk B, some Kwame B.
Even if they have happened, they should remain where
in
they
the
are.
dark. I mean, say, you know, there are certain things that is between you and him. He will forgive you. You know, the guys I had you near the Asha Kukwemu. Ebi mu kwesi ya hu mu kwa I shy to say we ni o my baby. Let's say na wakobo bo wa can list.
I know me catch was this here they also be very careful.
So imagine you will be extra careful. And brother, you see, one of the fears of these kind of things is the wrong narratives. And this is what David Osei is doing. David Osei and others from Sammy Fle's side, from Sarkodie's side, and also from Yvonne Nelson's side, they are actually now diluting. And the biggest problem in this our era now is that a lot of people, I won't say everybody, a lot of people are very shallow. You see, me like this, the moment people like this say things, there are a lot of things they said, I say, Akwa Webua. You get it? But there are some
a lot of things who said
David says, Obua is not serious. Obua is not serious. Like, I just think he's also shallow. He's also just resonating, or is a good friend of Yvonne Nelson. Like the way she says she has allegiance to John Dumelo. That's the way he's also allegiance to Yvonne Nelson. And again, Yvonne Nelson is also a producer. Or trusting. Okay. And I quite yes in the end. It's common head, he's speaking based on say, yeah, contrasting this is yeah, from me. Do you get it? So he's not thinking about the general public and what the general public will benefit. Because based on his record, some few years ago, gimmicks way for politics. Say our PBM say politics, you know, doesn't feel fine. Or China say Yvonne is in China for 2-3 years. Will he come back and say Yvonne is a bad person and she's not good and this and that? So people like that, we just need to be careful with them because they cannot be of their affiliation and they cannot be trustworthy. When something favors them at a particular moment, they come out loud to support it. So I discredit all the things he's saying because he says say that here. And we also know that there are people who are talking for Sarkodie that they cash out for him. Or no, or you cash cow. Even if they don't talk for him, who did they talk for?
I see. Now be on the mic, Abbas, and let me come back to you. Whilst doing this, I don't know if Richie, you have some of the tweets from Shatawale about this particular incident since it started, and I have been saying something that when it comes to celebrities and the things that happen among them or between them, they can decide to do anything they can do because they are colleagues, they are friends, they understand themselves and they can teach themselves, mock each other for whatever reasons. So ever since this thing started, we've seen what Shatawale has been doing online. He's not insulting anybody, he's not attacking anybody, he's just making fun of the situation, laughing, reading comments, sharing opinion with laughing emojis all over. And I know some people have their own meanings into it. Some people think it is wrong, others think it is good. Someone like Stonebwoy Kwade, he hasn't said anything, playing the unlooking or yearly shows or promoting the album. And now he's even posted his tours abroad, as in his shows coming forward. And I want to ask that, how do we also see the actions of Shatawale, especially when some people think that he is doing something wrong, he's doing something right. How do we also see it? Though we see some of the, okay, let me read some of them to help those who have not seen what he said. So when the thing started, he said, oh wow, I'm just reading comments. Because of this, you go buy a bundle. Oh no, sir can't do that. I don't believe this. They have to chop again, so we see, because me, I don't believe it. Like, these are the kind of comments he's putting out. Yet, some people are mad about it. Some people are not happy with it. Like this one says, okay, we need video evidence. I'm Sack's lawyer today. I'll protect my nigga anytime. I'll be live. Slap your phone. Please, Scott Rice, I'm about to win this matter for Sack. Let us pray. Like, all these things. Yet, some people are offended with this. And I'm asking, are they right to be offended or not? So this on the screen says, like abortion there for Bishatawale or not, sir, come on. We have the green this, all be lie. So these are some of the comments he's putting out, and still some people are mad. What do you think about it?
Rasami, there's no how you play a joke. Some people will still not laugh. Because their life actually is sad. And we can't blame them also. We can only blame the economy, the spirituality, and the society in which we are in. And everybody at their point of view. Differently. Knowing the character Shatawale, knowing the character Stoneboy, knowing the character Sarkodie, they are all playing just according to their character. And Sarkodie is actually also helping a lot of people to be relieved about all the things that are going on. Because whilst the naysayers, the pollutants, and the how should I call it? Let me give them a name. The cash out people are cashing out. They're supposed to be somebody that is distressing the whole situation. I wish the job that Shatawale is doing, a serious comedian in this country could actually blow out of this.
Yes.
One comedian could actually pick this series and do it on social media and on stage.
The guys have a comedy show coming up. I'm sure their content will be about 60% Yvonne Nelson and Sarkodie.
But why can't they engage the people with it?
Why can't they engage?
Why can't they engage the people with it?
Which people?
The comedians. One of them, two of them. Actually just banter between them. Because they do characters, they don't actually name it Yvonne Nelson. They can name it Nale. But when you read the story or you follow, you know that it's this person that they are talking about. Like what Shatawale is doing. There's no way you can actually pick him on. That he's saying something. And he's not also talking about the issue. That's one of the things everybody needs to get. He's not talking about the issue. And he has strived one way or the other to run away from somebody who is not his colleague, but to somebody who is his colleague. So he is picking up on a musician. And he's doing like a nigger man. Me I sure say ngofo amini omo free and amini me share me hood ma ye salani like we know ourselves from Niamano. They can pick on me.
Of course.
But after finish picking on me, they are the same guys that will come out there and defend me. There are things that will happen in this showbiz industry. It's only Sammy and the people around Sammy that will know the details. The details, and that can joke with around me on certain things. No, not somebody else. The moment somebody else come, we are bonting. I can't give you that thing. I will also reply you because happening the way I tease Nana Reagan is not the way I come and tease you. And so if Nana Reagan is doing that to me, I'm cool and we are on that level. And so it makes sense. If Stoneboy doesn't talk, Stoneboy is like that. Ono na kuma hani bebrezi sesia. Ono ko kan bibi na wo be ya no sesia, wo be twen wa hyiama. No dey face you ono mpe kasa bebre. I know right. Shatawale apart from all this, who share no about, wo be chia wo no mo be ko because ono no wa program na adwen say agro ni edi. Enye gidigidi bia. And as Sarkodie so ujabu no so ono so be twen pan at the right time. No wa jabu, be jabu more than wa jabu no bi na eye Yvonne else. Imagine a song drop done. Asana de be chi wa so phone. Nti wo book no ye kan ye feel say e be so phone. You get it? So these are things that I think me personally, I think he's doing well. He should keep on because it's a full profession that he's doing. And based on that also we make all of us see him in different light. those who want to get angry, I personally feel that they are actually hungry. Maybe omubu system ni dada. Omubu fu niam bi. And omu pe obi omudi. Anger be corner so nti challenges just speak on Shatawale after all. Shatawale dey kan ya adwin say na. Ohona ye betumi aye relief. Then he's also helping those people to distress. Because some man you obi o man kan tire o man kan o man yana. Betumi akohangi omo and he has saved them from hanging themselves. So it's a good relief.
I see. Kobe, how do you also see how Shatta is responding or reacting to these things on Twitter especially? And he's doing that only on Twitter as a matter of fact.
Yeah, Twitter is one platform that such, gimmicks mostly happen on. When it comes to these kind of games or fans, it normally happen on Twitter. And I think I would say that monkey play by sizes. You see, the kind of play that I can play with someone like Richie, I can't play the same play with you because I have that kind of vibe with Richie. I don't have that kind of vibe. And more or less too, Shatawale is a musician, Sarkodie is a musician. So they more or less, they are like colleagues and they find themselves in the same space.
Exactly.
But whatever being it, I think say Ghanaians nankasa Shatawale ankasa mon share name ni ye. The brand Shatawale. You see, most of the times we tackle issues from emotions. So sometimes anka adi anka order a Danny play, we turn it to be anger, then making a whole lot of issues around it. But instead of him to more or less say certain things, that will be he's trying to play around. One way or the other, he's also playing a defensive game for Sarkodie. Because it seems like musician is even talking for him. So he's acting like, oh, if no one is speaking for my
everybody is quiet.
Yeah, because they were economy. But
I'm sure both of them, they happen to be friends to like the industry.
Yeah.
And the another for Sarkodie and at the same time another for Yvonne Nelson also.
And that's the problem. And more or less too, one thing that people also don't know is that aside the showbiz, people have their personal lives. Aside what we know on social media, Shatawale, Stonebwoy, Sarkodie, maybe they meet one-on-one, they vibe, then they talk business, but we don't know because we don't live with them. So you might think that, oh, I'm a Sark fan, so I think Shatta is doing what is not expected for him to do. But on the natural grounds, on the real grounds, Shatta and Sarkodie have that kind of convo, their vibe, they have that kind of play. And even on several occasions, sometimes when Sarkodie get opportunity to sit on TV, be like, oh, Shatta is my guy. We are friends. We know most of these things, fans will take it wayward. But irrespective of how it is, you should be yourself, just as I'm saying. And even the man himself, the man in the middle of the picture is not complaining. But people will still find it way to more or less run insult on him. And I think those people are doing it. Why? Because sometimes, to me, a target you be, but you're waiting for something to happen. No, it happens many times.
Yeah.
At that moment, that wasn't the right time. So you are just hoping that something will just pop up. So at least you fire. So I think people are, making this whole thing to be or turning it from this angle to the other, more or less have something to put out there, and they are hoping or waiting for the right time to come so as they air out. But to me, I see it to be a normal play that, two colleagues are more or less trying to have a fun. And everybody can have fun with, people that more or less they have that kind of level with. Yeah.
I see. Nana, what do you also say about this?
Brother, you see this issue. Yesterday I said on Class Showbiz that there are people who have issues with their ex-boyfriends, and there are people who also have issues with their ex-girlfriends. That because of the bitterness they have harbored in them, they will use those experiences to judge the Yvonne Nelson Sarkodie issue. In fact, they will use it to react to the issue. So wherever anybody will stand, you will get somebody coming to attack you or coming at you. Whether you are playing with the issue, somebody will have issues with it because he thinks that the pain until you don't have to joke with such an issue. Massa, and you'll be the man with broken heart. Be disappointing way. You need to disappointed because I only baby or corner only was and be a corner monko can we monko sorti, because I have said that sometimes we might have similar stories, but the situation and the decisions we take in our life and yepe. Yes, Nana Reagan a trim panada, and I'll go to train. The fire I am consuming in my relationship. Means a fire and then conquer JG Abbas and then a relationship once. No, it might be same relationship, but the circumstances might be different. Intimate in your pet. You people should understand that. In fact, put your emotions aside. If you want to be part of this conversation, book no kotobi kind who we are. If you want to be fair and objective, give your ear to the other side of the story. And you know who we are, whatever judgment or opinions you also have. Share it. Nobody is holding anybody to anything. Like Obian stop you, Obian so more Obian share the opinion. We all can't agree to one thing. Shatawale we decided say, okay, some of you are so two different. One person can't. So be a fire. Oh yeah. Kwame word to answer. Or friend. So some of the people that they've known for 4 years, 5 years, because of our same way. If you are not share opposite opinion to what you thinking,
One in your problem.
One in your problem. The dinner them. Also making so be another panakrapo air criticizes Sarkodie attempt the deal. And so the
the characters involved even making money.
You are not like who put pile. So what I am saying is that I mean some of these things that Shatawale is doing, me have been doing some on social media. Sometimes I feel that the best way to ease tension is to make some of these things, find
soft,
make it soft.
Find a soft way of approaching.
You'll be a posty, you'll be a sensitive. You also finding some jovial way being so they can also argue best or be sure best answer it. Instead, so you make everybody aggressive over the issue. No, I know moment yet because I know sometimes the actions and the end results of Sanya Mano. Very
negative.
Yenja obi I think is nim Sarkodie and Shatawale relationship. Ebi kra no pa we kra mo so your makasa be 2 hours. Oh to one na so let's allow him to do on your BBA on committing any crime. I mean anything he is doing there, he's not defaming anybody. He's not judging anybody. He's just having fun with the issue. And as boys, I deal with a normal.
Yeah.
Boys, the it is what I call you beer. On for number for the cancer. If you move my fans, if you be who. As I say, enjoy. Enter a man. Yeah. The other than I'm Minister Currency and I make a channel. Say, when I say, maybe I will be a warrior. Say, Sarkodie in 2010. Now, with me, I achieve. Say, I will Yvonne Nelson. Me say anko mudi ni besi apakan abon chenye di ne chika
nana ya very nana
hey very one say they can be a
God is the style
on my fans but say e koye obi so e bia boy se kra ni ho say na wa
they are very inkoso
the omo be ya wo no
very inkoso bia
the omo be ya wo no it's normal among boys. I mean maybe you find offense to it but enye bibia a crime and I say illegal. So what Shatawale is doing, I think a seminar abana and no we decided say they are all can no can sa say they are all approaching no or approaching sa or person no dia go ne fans or na the followers on more Twitter no or can be no more so baby then she's just there. You understand? So men for and I make say money na is born out of people's personal emotion. And you say Yvonne Nelson is Sarkodie in the pool. Obu boy bia ye na de be na ye nti ohun be ma cry e kan be ma asema
na ne bofu
ontie asem no mu ontie mu nkodu hey mema de hey nza na ko wo de ebi atomeda
so finally let's do this and I want everybody's 2 minutes opinion on this so we run away from it. Sarkodie is not known to be someone who has been responding to issues. Of course, we know this, unless you just joined the industry. If you know the industry, I'm sure you know this. Everybody knows Sarkodie will ignore. So this particular one that he did not ignore or he has not ignored, decided to respond to it. I'm just thinking aloud, and I want to get your opinions to it as well. One day, when all these things are settled and died out, knowing who he wants to be seen, knowing who he wants to be, and the fact that he always doesn't want his things to be known by people, would this come to him as a regret one day, when he knows that media nan come person bi akra be hu me nsem bimpo bi hu nsu amenom bimpo be we me fa ba e de nsem bi nti he has been pushed to do this, try me. One day when everything is gone, you're moving on. No? Will this come to him as a regret? Let's cut it like this and close. Yes, Kobe.
I think it depends on my years. No? Sometimes you see, Sarkodie or Koye Beman, he said, one way or the other. I think along the line you will feel bad. So I should have even not been doing that. Yes.
Because some of this has happened to all of us. Sometimes everything is now worry. Actually, take and say, this things are like, I for no react.
So there are some things that you will do, but years will more or less make you feel like, oh, I should have even done that, and that is what will possibly happen. One, because we men, we more or less ignore certain things along the line. But we be like, oh, let me just ignore this and move on with my life. Nebubefu, on the other hand, and I think he did that because of the kind of pressure that also was mounted on him. Because it was like everybody was saying, Sarkodie, is it like you don't want to talk? Is it like whatever that you are being accused is right? So everybody, one way or the other, try to say his side of the story. And Adeba saying, said, whatever happened between both parties, yeah, you need hobby. And Sisiano, Obia Canada woman. Into the Obejedi, no Ajedi, but the Ayame Yaka Crane say the two Kolana Mabimno, especially the kids from the side of Yvonne and the side of Sarkodie, because the internet never forgets. Imagine growing up just to come and know that, oh, these are some of the messes that my daddy or my mom did. That would be a kind of stigma. But whatever being it, you as the child can also change the narrative. Because the fact that maybe in quotes your mom did certain things that was more or less bad, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can equally emulate or maybe continue from that. You can more or less change the story and more or less come up to be a different figure altogether. So I think that's the only concern that I have there. But whatever being it, Yvonne thought it was for her to cash out. And later on, Sarkodie also thought it was for him to also cash out. So everybody is cashing out. At the right time, if they think they have to feel bad about it, they've already benefited from the money. So they should deduct the money, the enjoyment that they got out of it, and hold on with the pains that comes along it. Yeah.
Perfect. Abbas, 2 minutes. We are closing. Same question to you. Would one day come for these people to feel some way about it?
At this juncture, I think both will never feel regret about it. Yes, both will embrace it and push forward. Maybe we'll never make such mistakes again. But at this juncture, it is clearly that they've actually learned from it. They've gone through the pain, and they've actually also cashed out of it. One way or the other, in both of them, their interviews and their previous music, they've tried very hard to say things about this. They've tried. Now that people are now putting the dots together. So it's not that they have actually not been talking, but they have actually not been specific. But now there are specifics that we all can put all the two dots together and say, okay, this is what this person is leading towards, and this is what the person is leading towards. So for what will happen in the past, I don't know anything I can't be say, but China same day, ya German because we be a name the obe sorry there or China. So for today that they've decided, and for whoever came to write the book first, took time to write the book. And for whoever came to reply the music, took time to reply the music, wrote the lyrics, enter into a studio. And both of them are not known to be quick people, especially Sarkodie. He's not somebody that, oh, sorry, yeah, or dream, or no personally, or dream, yeah, no, I can't, Debbie. He's one person over the years, or you'll be or reflecting, or dream, it's not the son of Becca. Or interview no on a sports crown, or be ma once a crown, or dream, a more calculated answer. So personally, is understandable PR person by person. Or you'll be a fit in the time, no, sorry, and will be an interview, the person who won't know Becca. there was a winning no catcher and I said I was a winning no soon of catcher. And so if he has come at this juncture and the whole thing is clear and he has said it, there are some past. It looks like you just need to be bold, stand and face it and say this is it. After all, for the last 10-20 years of my life, I've been struggling with this thing. Let me say it. What will happen should happen. Because if I don't say it at this juncture, Charlie, that thing will sink me. So it's either I float on it and move on, or I keep quiet and get sinking it. Because the narrative will actually just be one-sided. Now it's a two narrative. The public and the old people are divided. So even if you are supporting Yvonne Nelson vigorously in your head, you have Sarkodie's story in your head. And if you also support Sarkodie heavily, and you in your heart you cry and say, "Dear me, you said dear me binti and America say, they will not say can no FBI and no the Yvonne Nelson dear Susa Yvonne Nelson in America say me dear me dintin and make us about a Sarkodie story so they've all cleared that thing in your mind and they've all said their peace. They will get their money, they go, they chop it in peace. You also go home in peace. Nobody's regretting anything.
Thank you. Nana, yeah, closing.
Yeah.
Final remarks from you.
I think there's a likelihood say Obi Betimi I regret it. But it would depend on future
repercussions.
Because as we speak, we cannot, because there are some decisions that I've always been saying, I can take a decision that will be good to me. Tomorrow, because of life circumstances, it will not be good.
Yeah.
It is the same decision, but circumstances as a result. So it is like that. So I can even take a good decision today and tomorrow I will regret it.
Yeah.
It is normal. So until say that should be in the able so Sarkodie, based on whatever occurrences are when if he Sadia away and name we cannot say or very regret it. But there is that likelihood say obetimi bibisa. In fact, there's also another thing that obetimi kra evidence are bonobaka say they we ankama nyankama bra boy. Yvonne Nelson can also reach at a point in life and sorry, she will also feel like that, like, hey, I did we ankama nyanka mbwami. But yeah, I we are bwami pa. And I say, book ya me churu minimum ankama chop. Nini na be depending on modachi. See, we can't look into their future. We can only be making certain projections.
Definitely.
And you know, more kasa. Yvonne Nelson, the last statement, I'm sure titi me, or no so neighbor, or say Sarkodie or Baba, or no so Baba. So we will see what will happen.
Yeah.
So maybe until something will happen and they will relate it to book publishing, and new release, and I say, more relationship in the past, we cannot tell. But the main person can say, Abraboma, so whether you are taking a bad decision today, whether you are taking a good decision today, regrets can happen tomorrow. It is normal.
Very, very well said by my pundit. Fantastic submission. And I want to believe so far, you guys are satisfied with how my people are handling the Sarkodie and Yvonne Nelson saga. Yesterday, you guys listened to a voice note from my guy in London. Shout out to you. Who to him he says, "Me, I'm a Sark native." So your people tell them I'll be watching. Now today I saw a comment. A guy who also can say, "Today I'm going to sleep here." Today I'm going to sleep here. I want to listen to what everybody will say. But so far, I want to believe you guys are satisfied with how my people are handling Yvonne Nelson Sarkodie. Whether you are satisfied or not, feel free and let's listen to you or let's read from you in the comment section. Special thanks to Kobe Justman. I hear you are starting some project. 1 minute, talk about it and let's close.
Okay, it's campus-based event. That's campus showbiz.
Okay.
Myself together with a colleague blogger, Kosiama.
Okay.
Kosiama is my hometown guy, proud in Zimbabwe. So
okay,
we've had that kind of bond from day one. So we decided to merge our forces and bring that forth, that campus initiative. So basically what we'll be doing is that there's so many talents in those various campuses. So we'll go there, project some of the good things and also amplify it. So as people like you also take it from there and help nurture.
Oh,
those
okay.
talents.
So you be going to the campus.
Yes.
Like during the entertainment shows.
Yes, yes.
You pick those who are good and you nurture them. That's a good thing.
It might come with some interviews, some performances, and
Yeah.
even other plugs that maybe.
No, that's positive. When are you guys starting it?
We've started everything. Just that we are yet to outline some kind of interviews and some tour along it.
Alongside.
Then we push the
Okay.
whole agenda.
Well, that's solid. Yes.
Two of our brothers are doing something tomorrow.
Okay.
MC Kobe is doing something.
Oh no, we are coming there. I'm coming to actually chill there because tomorrow is Friday. You know Fridays. We try to relax life. In fact, if you don't understand it. On Fridays we relax life after work. Me, I believe in work and chill. I hate people who don't work and they want to chill. Oh, you will not be my friend. Work hard, chill hard. So we are coming there. Tell MC Kobe we're coming there.
Solid. And our brother, young barrister too, is doing something in Dansuma. Is it platinum?
Young barrister is doing something.
Yeah.
Hey, that one I don't know yet.
In Dansuma.
He has not mentioned it to me.
He's doing something in Dansuma. So I just want to say we're going to be there to support them all.
All right. So Kobe's program is happening at Poolside Hotel in Kaswa. So those who be watching us from Kaswa and would want to have time with us, let's meet at Poolside Hotel in Kaswa, and we are sure going to be there. Let me say thanks to Kobe Josvan, blogger, Abbas, talent manager, Nana Rega, road manager, publicist, journalist as well too. Okay, so this is the, which one is this one too?
The event.
Oh, the Kobe event.
Yes.
Oh, so Zidor is leading the attack.
Yeah.
Hey,
Church boy.
Oh, Church Boy is also there. His new song we shot a video for. What is it called?
Yeah, Verse Me.
Verse Me. Yeah, that song is good. Wow. Okay, so there's the event, a platform for talents to showcase the other side. So Kaswa Obom Road. Yeah, Poolside Hotel. Zidor is there at the Church Boy, Kino, Trap Sterling, Dozimane, Jamudin. Well, we'll be there. So meet us there and let's chill up small. My name is Sammy Flex. Subscribe to us if you've not done that. This is our game and we play it so well. We are out of here. Bye.